Well, good night, Lynn, Midoriya said as he flipped over and turned off the light. I just sat up on the mattress that laid on his bedroom floor, patiently waiting. I could tell that he knew I was watching him as he tried to sleep. Just watching. He eventually grew sick of this before looking over at me and asking, are you okay? No, I responded, and he immediately grew nervous as he waved his hands around and asked what was wrong. You going to sleep? Is that wrong? We both paused for a moment. Izuku Midoriya's POV. Late at night, pitch black. Me going to sleep is a problem? I don't know what to think here. Is she going to say something sexual? No. Don't think like that. It'll be okay. This is a sleepover, right? You never sleep at a sleepover? She exclaimed calmly without any worry. So, like an all-nighter? I asked her. Exactly, she said, turning the light back on and standing up. I'm gonna use the bathroom. BRB, she said before heading out to the door and down the hall to where she saw it from memory. I suddenly feel super conscious of myself. Like, if I looked okay, if my room was tidy, if I was being a good friend. Why? I don't know myself. It's not Lynn, is it? It can't be. Why would someone like her make me so nervous? I know that she's pretty easygoing and non-judgmental. And as if the speed of light, she came back, tumbling back through the door and onto my bed to sit next to me. I felt myself heat up as she just smiled. What do you want to do? I asked her, casually stuttering at the last word. She said, holding her chin up like she was thinking. I know, we should go down to the local pool and go swimming, she suggested. Are you crazy? It's late at night. The pool is closed and my mom expects us to be asleep right now. I yelled as she just begun to pack up random stuff and threw it at me. She picked some items from my room and threw them under her covers to make it look like a person. Chill out, dude. This will be fun. I grew super worried. I also knew, though, that there was no changing her mind. But you don't even have a bathing suit, I stated as she picked up a towel from the cupboard and finished making the fake person under the covers. Who cares? Let's go, she said, opening the window after turning off the lights. We're jumping out the window, I questioned with a whisper panic and yell. So, she said, grabbing onto my waist, and just like that, like it was nothing. Come on, let's go, she said, taking off with us and the towels. Although on that memorable day she flew with ease, the same wasn't this case today. She suddenly stopped, and we went tumbling to the ground. Sorry, I didn't know what was happening, she was yelling as we hit the ground. At least, we weren't too far from it when her quirk malfunctioned. I was pretty tough, so I stood up, just repositioning my hair, feeling conscious again. She didn't seem to look like she was getting up. Was she hurt? Did something happen? I bent over as she flipped over and rose her head with her eyes closed. Face inches from mine. She just groaned. I can't get up because I'm tired. Before fluttering her eyes open, she didn't seem to faze at all. She stuck her hand towards my face and said, Upsies, please. I stood back a bit and helped her up. She grabbed the air and motioned towards my shoulder, saying, Upsies, again. This girl. I lifted her up onto my shoulders and carried her to the pool, which wasn't very far away. This was nice, though. My head was rested onto mine as she played with my hair while holding onto my shoulder. It wasn't long before we reached the pool. I tapped her and she looked up at the fence that loomed before us. "What now?" I asked, trying to change her mind while trying to look at her head. She jumped off my shoulders and began to climb the fence. "We can't just break into the pool. What if someone sees us?" I whisper-shout at her once more. "No one will see us, silly. Now stop being a wuss and give me a boost." I just sighed as I did what she said. She was on the other side before I climbed hesitantly and followed. "Pretty daring of you, Midoriya." "I'm proud," she said before placing down the towel and standing at the edge of the pool. I was quite surprised myself, if I was being honest. Her praise made my face dust itself pink before I hit the ground on either side and stood next to her. We sat down for a moment, and we talked. We talked about all the kinds of stuff. I found out that she can't stand waiting for something to happen. She just does it. Like there's no care in the world. She also told me that if she wants something done, she'll do it herself. I told her about how I never gave up and how I lived to achieve my dreams, and she told me that she admired about that. Speaking of admiring, do you admire anyone in our class? If you know what I mean. She asked as she literally wiggled her eyebrows at me. Now that I think about it, do I like anyone? Uchako is cool, but a bit too in your face, and I don't know Sue very well. Do you? She cut me off by pushing her into the pool as a small squeal escaped her lips. I began to laugh until I was gripping my sides. Her head popped above the water, and she just gave me a look that I couldn't describe. It was something of a smile, but also of a frown? Puffy cheeks? I don't know. But she was up to something. You want to play a game? Huh? She said before grabbing my ankles and dragging me in with her. I could feel myself get eaten by the cold water as a shiver went up my spine from the sudden temperature changed. We looked at each other before we both burst into fits of laughter, sending echoes throughout the surrounding area. All was fun and games, until we heard the pool gate open. That eerie creak making us turn slowly to the person at the gate. I knew someone was going to find us. And maybe we'd be in big, big trouble. Ugh.